How's it, guys? I am next level excited to talk to you about a beautiful new product that I've discovered, Manus AI. So, yes, they came out in March of this year, and of course, I was aware, like teaching Gen AI, and no coding automation. That's what I do. I think I just was kind of so siloed and entrenched in ChatGPT because I was like, well, they do everything for me, so it's not like I'm lacking or needing to sort of see what other people are doing. That said, until today I was like, well, look, you are a teacher and it is important to plan all these playgrounds. And I've been in, Gemini's, in Google's Gemini's. I've gone to Claude. I have done X or Twitter's Grok. And so I was like, look, let's see what Manus can offer. So yeah, please do join me as we do a gorgeous walkthrough of Manus. So this is the interface, and it's not kind of, that's their logo, not too dissimilar to ChatGPT. Nice little chat bubble there, and the same things you'd expect. The plus sign means that you can start to collaborate, or the AI can collaborate with all of your files. These things are kind of quite same and expected now. But what was incredible about these guys is that I went here to explore what's in Manus, and that's when it kind of blew my mind because I've done presentations or slides in GPT, and I just haven't had amazing results. It's been kind of more fixing it than it being actually production ready. Whereas today with Manus, I was like, well, let's give it a try. Let's see how capable it is. So here it is. Literally, I gave it the most basic of prompts. I said, there's a 3-day workshop that's coming up, and that is the truth. It's an in-person workshop. I want to do a lot of demos. These guys are relatively new to all things AI, and yeah, I'd like something really beautiful, sort of presentation-wise. And within 10 minutes, this is what it produced for me, which I really thought was, yeah, pretty remarkable. Was so I'll be honest, the first slide I would definitely change. It's not really necessarily who I am, but what I was impressed about was no font overlaps any elements. Like, it's actually really not a bad slide. The same with the next one. Really impressed with how it goes into the history of artificial intelligence, which is very much to how I teach. I would definitely cover that. The next day as well, also just what are LLMs? We all know it's the brain of our AIs, but still it's cool to kind of see what's under the hood. And then the next day it talks about data processing or data collection. Then it goes into the free versus the paid. Again, all of these elements or components are actually well structured and nothing is bleeding into the next. It's really quite impressive. And then it went and, which I thought was remarkable, it went and found all of the logos and it actually built them into the presentation. So there's Copilot, there's OpenAI's ChatGPT, and the same with Claude and Grok, and then eventually Gemini and Meta. And it goes all the way to Zapier because I want to touch on kind of basic automations as well. So yeah, it gave me 11 slides in less than 10 minutes with just the most generic of prompts. And you come here, it says here we can preview it, which is pretty cool, but I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm just going to do is I'm going to come out of that. And I'm rather going to just go to my next demo for you guys. Let's press enter and just revive it. Brilliant. So we're back to the interface again. So that was my my slideshow. I thought that was a really cool thing. That saved me like literally hours. Because generally you end up fixing a lot of the AI generated work, whereas this was incredibly impressive. I then went and played around with, and I'll take you to it, and a new task to their video generator. That was also an incredible experience. Sadly, it's very, it eats a lot of tokens very quickly. I think I enabled agent mode and hence I've got no tokens left. But if you come here to, here's the video. I'm going to play it for you. I mean, you can imagine with music. I said to it, just so you know what prompt I gave it, I said, listen, I just want a history of how did we get to this moment of ChatGPT. So go back, go to Ada Lovelace, to Victorian England, Charles Babbage. Then go to Alan Turing, pre-World War II, to the Dartmouth Conference in 1956-ish, to when IBM's Deep Blue beats a human in chess, to ChatGPT, and it did this. I mean, just excellent graphics. Nothing is contorted or distorted. There's Mr. Charles Babbage. Taking us to Alan Turing, which, I mean, this shot I actually really love. And his machine. To the Dartmouth Conference, or certainly their take on all of those guys, McKinsey and John and all of them. To the AI Winters, I think it was in the 80s. Don't quote me, but there were a couple of AI Winters. This is the IBM beating the human chess champion at the time. And it takes us all the way through. You'll see in a bit to ChatGPT because you see all the users. And the quality is, for me, the quality is absolutely astounding. So that's its capabilities, just next level video generation. What I also did with it, and I'm not able to show you now, but is I decided to see what was its integration like with Zapier. Now, I'm not an automation specialist by trade, but I do like to set up basic automations. And I was like, well, what could my use case be? So I set up a Google Forms. I'm actually going to try and see if I can't find it for you now, because I had a recent retreat that came up, and I thought it might be quite nice to get some feedback on these retreaters. So here it is. Here's my little Google feedback form. And every time somebody presses submit, and obviously I need to fill it in order to do that, I set up a basic automation with Zapier, and I said every time someone presses submit that you would notify me so that I can go and check and do something with that feedback, maybe email the person or improve something. So if you come with me here to the interface, these are my connectors, and I think Manus is, for me, really displaying what agentic AI looks like, because before ChatGPT, of course, it could do things. It could make images and it could write us gorgeous content, but it couldn't really access what was going on with the rest of our day. And it now can. We know that with ChatGPT, but Manus is really not far behind. I've integrated it into my Gmail, my calendar. In fact, earlier, I said to Manus, won't you go and see? I'm pretty sure there's a meeting coming up. And I was sure I hadn't actually set up a calendar invite, and it did that for me, which was incredible. Then I set it up with GitHub. Again, it's not like I'm developing for a profession, but I do have a couple of basic repositories, like a really bad Pac-Man game, and I connected GitHub because AI is integrated or baked into all of our tools. So even if you don't feel comfortable in GitHub, you can use the AI and it can help you. So that's why I did that. And you can see Zapier, Airtable are there. So it's really, if you go to connectors, it's incredible. These are mine, but we can still add so many more. I mean, have a look at it. Notion, Asana, Monday, Make. Just insane. And this is important in terms of collaboration and just being able to use like one system for everything. So it gave me a gorgeous video. It even made me a landing page that I'm very sad to say I can't now show you guys because I didn't actually deploy it. So maybe we can do that in another demo. But I was very impressed again. I just said, listen, go and do your research. I sent the agent on a mission. Go online, find out everything you can about Next Good, specifically the wellness side. So whatever you then find, add my socials that showcase that. So my Instagram and my Substack. And yeah, those are the things that I did with it. The other thing that's a beautiful feature, if you come here to settings, it's got something called Mail Manus that is insane. And basically, I take this email address and I would then go into my Gmail and like a PA, like you would sort of siphon work off to a PA or to an intern, I mailed it and I said, cool, can you go and get hold of that person and just write this for me? This is what I'd like to say to them. And it actioned that. Set up this meeting. I love this newsletter and I want to repurpose it. Find me 3 ways that I could repurpose it. So really, for the first time, its capabilities, agentic AI is really for me kind of coming through with platforms like Manus AI. So you can see in my top bar, ChatGPT, these are all my virtual co-workers. Manus, Claude, Copilot, Grok, Gemini. I'm going to do little videos on all of them because I think it's important that we see what they all can do. Um, I mean, we can't ultimately give $20 to all of them, but this month I think I've done a wise decision investing my money into Manus. So that's what I wanted to show you. I hope you are as impressed as I am. And yeah, let's keep easing into AI, and I will see you guys soon again with another demo.